Okay, welcome to another class in engineering graphics and design. So let me talk about the previous session. So in the previous session we have learned about when the planes which are actually resting on by using the one of their sides, and how to give the projections and how to get the final front view and final top view. We have seen that, and that's the last class that we have discussed, and I've showed that what is actually happening, how to think about a certain problem which are given related to the planes. So I've shown that everything in the three dimensions in the AutoCAD. So I hope it is clear to you guys. So I'm moving to the next session. That is the projections of the solids. So first, initially we have started with the points, and after that we started straight lines. After that, we recently we've finished the planes part, and now we need to complete we are about to start the projections of the solids part, and much more have to be added to this solids part. So before that, we will just learn about this solid part first. Okay. Let me open Google Chrome. So first of all, a solid. So solid is a three-dimensional object which is having both length, width and thickness. It is completely bounded by a surfaces which may be curved or plane, and the shape of the solid is described by the drawing its two orthographic views, usually two principal planes, that is horizontal plane and vertical plane. These are just for the solids which are actually these basic primitives, but not for some complicated geometry, like if there is some irregular object is there, we might need more than two views. But most of the times this this front view and the top view, these orthographic views actually plays a vital role in describing the geometry of a certain solid. So that's the reason why we need to learn about these projections of the solid. So mostly whatever that you see, whatever that you want to manufacture, it is of course a solid, right? So whenever these solid bodies are having certain inclinations with respect to the particular view, then how does they actually look like and how to represent them, you have to go through all of this. Okay, let me explain this one with eraser here. So if you take this eraser as an example, say that you want to manufacture an eraser. So basically you can use the isometric view. Isometric view means this edge, and this edge, from your perspective they should be seems to be having an inclination of 120 degrees with one another. Okay, these adjacent sides, okay, not all of them, these adjacent sides should have one seems to be 120. Actually they are perpendicular, but whereas the angle should seems to be 120 from your perspective. These orthographic views actually gives the true dimensions of a particular, suppose if you watch this one from the front view, the true dimension can be observed. This is actually the true length and true height of this eraser, and if you want to find the true width, then you have to watch this one from the side view so that you will get another orthographic projection. So likewise, these projections are very much important for the solids, and so that's why these are of course the basic part. And if you want to talk about some complicated geometry, you might need more than 2 views or 3 views. Actually depends on the geometry. Okay, so just like in the case of planes, in case of solids also we will going to see the same sort of scenario. Like the problems will be asked, like, you know, this particular edge, one of the edge that is actually belong to this particular solid is actually resting on the horizontal plane like this. Likewise, he will give you certain data. You should be ready, you should be in a position to imagine that one, and it actually all starts with the initial position. So how you're going to set it up initially, that is what going to make the problem very much easier. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Yeah, basically these are all of these solids are all of two different types, and one is polyhedra and another one is solids of revolution. So polyhedra means they will be having certain edges, you know, they are also called as straight lines. So they will be having certain faces. These are some of the polyhedras that we have, and in these polyhedra also there are certain classifications. So polyhedras in which prisms and pyramids, prisms and pyramids will be there. So in these polyhedras, so what is this prisms and what is a pyramid? Prism is the one which is going to have the same kind of face at the top and bottom sides of that particular solid. Suppose if you consider this solid here, this one is a rectangle, right? At the bottom also you can see a rectangle, right? So which means this is a prism. Similarly here also this one is a square, and here also this one is a square. All of them are connected with the straight lines or straight edges. So this one is also a prism. So likewise it should be having similar faces at the top and bottom most side, and they are parallel. Okay, these are basic type of polyhedras. And this one is pyramid. Pyramid is, obviously you might have know about pyramids, you know Giza pyramids and all this. So here in this case of pyramid, you will be having a lamina at the bottom side, which means an area will be there, whether it's a triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon. Likewise there will be certain lamina will be there at the bottom. At the top there will be apex. Okay, at the top there will be apex. It seems to be all of the faces, edges are, you know, these corner points are seems to be getting concentrated at a single point. We will call it as apex. This one is the apex, and this one is the so this one is the base of the pyramid, and this one is known as the apex of the pyramid. Polyhedras. So basically these are two different geometries that we need to talk about. If you consider some square prism here as an example, this one is top of the prism here, and this is the axis. You know what is meant by an axis, right? Yeah, so which is passing through the center of the square to the center of the square. Okay, a straight line which is passing through these two centers, and this is the face. Okay, and this is the edge. Don't worry, I'll show that in the AutoCAD too, don't worry. So this one is known as edge, or we can also call it as a straight line. And this one is the base, you know, the lamina or the area which is at the bottom side of this particular three-dimensional solid is known as the base. And similar, but whereas this one is also having somewhat similar properties, but whereas at the top the geometry is going to change. At the top, this concentrated point, this single point is known as apex. All of the edges will be connected, whether it is a square pyramid or pentagon or hexagon, whatever it is, all of these edges will have to coincide at this particular point. Okay, that this particular point is known as apex, and these edges are slant edges, of course, and these are faces, and this is the axis. The straight line, we can't call it a straight line, but the line which is passing through the these apex to this center of the lamina of the base is known as the axis, and these are the edges here. Okay, so likewise this is the some nomenclature about the these are some of the properties about these polyhedras. And the next one are the solids of revolution. So when a solid is generated by revolutions of a plane figure about a fixed line axis, then such solids are named as solids of revolution. Cylinder, cone and sphere. A cylinder can be generated suppose if I take this rectangular surface as an example. Okay, if you consider this particular edge here as an axis, and if you rotate this particular rectangle about this particular edge, then what happens? You will be able to generate a cylinder, right? So similarly, if you take a triangle, you will be able to generate a cone. Don't worry, I'll show that in the AutoCAD. Okay, and similarly, if you take a semicircle and if you rotate it about a certain axis, then you will be able to generate a sphere. Solids of revolution, yeah, these are somewhat similar to the we have talked earlier: axis, base, top, apex. So let me jump into the AutoCAD and show you what's the difference between these pyramids and prisms and the solids of revolution. By the way, the problems might seems to be somewhat difficult, but don't worry, I'll be using the AutoCAD because it has showed me some good results. If most of you are getting understanding this one means actually it is working, so that's the reason why people are able to understand. So I want to continue like this, because whatever the problem that I'm going to talk about, I just want to show the same thing in the AutoCAD too, so that I will be satisfied too. Like I've told something today, my students have learned something today, so likewise I will feel satisfied too. Okay, whatever it is. Now I will go to, let me create a box here. Okay, so let's talk about the different properties of this one. This top, this particular lamina here is known as face. This one is also one face. This one is one face. This one is also face. This one is also face. These are all faces. Okay, and these line geometries that you're actually seeing here, they are known as the edges. Okay, for a solid, these are known as edges. These are all the edges of this particular solid. I have to rotate this one to select. These are also edges. So these are all, edges which are connecting the base and the top, and these are all the edges that I'm about to select are the edges of the top. These are the edges of the top face. Okay, these are the edges of the top face. So the reason I'm explaining these in detail is there will be there will be situations where we need to talk about these geometries. Okay, in the problem he will give you like this particular edge which is actually belong to the top side of the square is actually resting on horizontal plane or vertical plane, or it is making certain inclination with the vertical plane. So likewise he'll start giving this to you. Now let me select these edges also. These are the base edges. Okay, remember this, these four are base edges. These four are base edges. Okay, and let me show you the difference between these. See, right now this one is prism or a pyramid. What's the difference between prism and a pyramid? Prism actually will be having the same lamina at the top and both top and bottom sides. See here, this one is let us say square one. See here, this one is square and this one is also square. Both are of same geometry, right? Same dimensions, right? Which means this is a prism. This is a prism. I'll show you how does actually a square pyramid will look like. I just need to connect so many things. I'm gonna take a cone. Okay, see here, this one is this is the base, and at the top you will be having only a single point. No. I don't know why am I not able to select that one. Okay, no problem. This one here, this point, particular point right here is known as the base, sorry, known as the apex. Let me show you the axis also. So can you guys see that orange line? I don't know if you guys are able to. Let me take some different view. Can you guys see this line, orange line? So that orange line is known as the axis line. For this one, the axis line will be from this location to I don't know, it was placed exactly now. See, I've drawn this axis line. Oh, wait. अरे यार something is definitely not right with this one. Okay. Okay, this one is known as the axis line. Okay, we can call it as the axis line. Okay, for this one also I'll try to draw an axis line. This line and this line both are axis lines. Actually, axis lines have to be represented with different lines. Dash dot lines are there. Depending upon the type of line, it changes. So if you are using a line like this, means it actually belongs to some straight edge. Okay, axis line should not be represented this way, but for the sake of understanding, I've drawn these two. Okay, axis line should be, there are certain conventions that I've mentioned to you in the earlier class. So those conventions have to be Bureau of Indian Standard conventions. Those conventions have to be followed. Okay, other than that we should not follow anything else. Okay, so I think you guys might have understand what's the difference between a prism and a pyramid. So this one here is known as prism and this one here is known as pyramid. Okay, this one is a circular pyramid. Okay, this one is a square prism. So that's the difference between these two. And there is one more type of classification is also there. So that classification is solids of revolution. So I'm going to explain this one too. I'll take a rectangle. Problems still exist. We can't draw something in the front view. Got that? So that's the reason why I have to draw this one in the top view and then I have to rotate this. Rotate it about this particular midpoint. Let's take this view. Am I seeing two different lines here? That's fine. Okay, let me try to rotate this one. First, let us join this using the join command. Yeah, it has worked. What? Say 0.3 because we will going to get Very big circle, I don't want that. Cylinder, very big cylinder. Approximately, yes. Okay, we will use what command? You can use what command? You can use the revolve command. Select the object, press enter, starting point of the axis, ending point of the axis. Okay, can you guys see here? I have actually considered, oh wait, okay, this one is just a rectangle, but if I try to revolve this one by 360 degrees about this particular edge here, which means this edge, this edge right now where my cursor is, this edge I'm about to get a cylinder if I try to rotate this one about one of the edges. So those type of solids, this one is also solid, right? So these type of solids are known as solids of revolution. Okay, there are two different types of solids. One type of solids are polyhydro solids. So these solids will be having some different faces connected by edges. Likewise, their geometry was defined in which prisms and pyramids are there, and after that this is the solids of revolution. So solids of revolution works this way. Similarly, if I take a right now I've taken, let me give an inclination of 360. Yeah, 360 is fine. I got a cylinder, right? Can you guys see this rectangular geometry? If I change the geometry to something else, it is started producing something else. Yes. So let us try to make a cone. This one is, the cylinder is actually a circular prism. A cylinder is also known as circular prism. So what I'm going to do is, right now I'm going to draw a rectangle, a triangle. Okay, so let me go to the left side view. You delete this one. Oh wait, let's move this one as something. Now let us select this one here. Oh, use the 3D rotate command. Rotate this one about this particular base here. Yeah. So we can actually select any point on that particular edge. Okay, the geometry has been made. Nothing, I'm just want to join this. Yeah, join that. Now we'll use a revolve command again, because these are the solids are actually should be made up of revolving. Okay, that's really good. Why can't we just move this one? Okay, I'm gonna select this one and I'm gonna hit revolve command. It is asking me to specify the starting and ending points. I'm gonna select this face here. Okay, can you guys see this one? This one is actually a cone. Okay, if I rotate this one by 360 degrees, I'll get a cone. So which means these solids are actually formed by revolving a certain lamina. So these are known as solids of revolution. Okay. Yeah. I'll give an angle of 360. This one here is a circular prism. This one is circular pyramid. That's the difference between these two. You guys should be able to find, which sometimes, I've told you about some BAS conventions, right? How to, until now we haven't seen the dotted lines in the front view or in the top view, but whereas from now on we will be able to see them, because solids will be having edges which are not visible to us. Some of the edges may not be visible to our view because they are three-dimensional objects. So yes, those edges have to be represented with the dotted lines. Okay, the hidden edges have to be represented with dotted lines according to the Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and I'm going to give you guys a problem. We will solve a problem. Okay, I'm not going to give you a problem today. I'm gonna try to solve a problem. So first I'm gonna start with a very small problem. I'll take two small different problems. So the first one here is a rectangular prism of 50 by 25 mm base and length 70 mm rests on its base on horizontal plane. On the horizontal plane, such that one of the larger lateral faces is inclined at 27 degrees to the vertical plane. Draw its projections. So this is what was actually given to us. I'm going to explain this problem completely in the 3D first, and then I'll go to the 2D. If there is a chance for me, I'll explain the second problem too, because I don't know how long does it going to take. But first of all, I want you guys to understand. Oh yeah, let's take okay. I just want to rotate this about this particular midpoint. Yeah, this angle is fine. Oh, we have to extrude these, right? So use the press pull command. Works this way sometimes. This one should also be press pulled. I 0.1. I just want them to look like planes, so that's why I took very small dimensions. I think shaded with the adjust mode actually looks fine to me. No, that does not take X-ray. This one is fine. So now what we're going to do is we will name this one as horizontal plane. Vertical plane should also be written here. Let's copy this one. Let us use the 3D move tool. Yes, it has to be somewhere. Yeah. Vertical plane. Okay, so we are ready to start the problem. So from the given problem, a rectangular prism means it will be having the same faces at the top and the bottom sides of the solid. So 50 by 20 mm base and the length of 70 mm rests on its base on HP. So the entire base is actually on the horizontal plane, so it rests on its base on HP, such that one of the larger lateral faces, I'll show you what is actually mean. So let us first draw the rectangle here. Okay, assume that this one is having 50 mm dimension and this one is having 25 mm dimension. Okay, I'm talking about this side and this side. This side is 50 mm, assume that this side is 25 mm. So I'm going to extrude this one, or I can also use the press pull. If you know how to use them, then that's fine, completely fine. Okay, before taking this one into the problem, why both of them are getting selected? Oh my god, I think it has assumed that this particular one is combined them. I haven't combined them. I don't know. Okay, so here let us move this one away. Okay, so let's talk about the different phases, different geometry that is actually talking about. I told you that let's go to the X-ray mode so that we can see every face here. So this is the top of this this is the top of this rectangular prism here, and this one here is the base face. Okay, this one is the base and this one is the top. and he told us that larger lateral faces, one of the larger lateral faces means these faces are known as the lateral faces. All four faces that I've marked are known as lateral faces. So one of these lateral faces, larger lateral faces, there are two different larger lateral faces, this one and this one. These two are the larger lateral faces. Okay, so one of these faces actually having inclined at 27 degrees to the vertical plane. So draw its projections. Right now, let me show you what does it actually mean. I will take this one closer to the vertical plane. Okay, let us watch it from the top. If you watch them from the top, let's go to face mode, select this one vertical plane and this face. I don't know where can I actually get this highlighted face and the vertical plane, both are actually, let me try to take this one somewhat further so that you guys might see that one. Okay, I'll go to the face selection, select face and select this face. So these two faces are now actually parallel to each other. So this face here is parallel to this highlighted vertical plane, right or wrong? This highlighted face is now parallel to this vertical plane. So what does he actually saying is, one of these larger lateral faces is actually inclined to at 27 degrees to the vertical plane. This face here, right now these two are parallel. These two seems to be two different straight lines from the front view. So what do we actually needed here is, this is not a perfect top view, that's the reason why you're actually seeing certain plane here. So what do we needed actually was, we want this face here to be inclined to this face at 27 degrees centigrade. If so, then how does it actually looks from the front and how does it actually looks from the top? That is what we actually needed. Okay, I think I'm clear. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, firstly I'll move this one somewhat closer to this. Okay, now I'm going to rotate this one. I'm going to select this object. What? Okay, I can rotate it like this. I'll go to the top view and I'm going to rotate this one by which means this one is actually 90. $27. Now see here, this face here, now it is actually making 27 degrees of inclination with this face or the vertical plane. Now these two faces are at an inclination of, these two highlighted blue faces are now at an inclination of 27 degrees. Okay, that is what we actually needed. So that is what he actually asked. A rectangular prism, if he says something like some prism, rectangular prism, then here all of these will be concentrated at a single point known as the apex. Okay, apex. So apex here, and we will rotate this one. He will give you like this particular edge at the base is actually making this much of angle. So if so, then how does it actually looks from the front, and how does it actually looks from the top? Likewise he will ask, or otherwise he will ask you like draw its projections. That is what it actually means. So here now if you watch this one from the front, now you're able to see the 4 edges because X-ray mode is on. If I go to shaded with edges, can you guys actually see the 4 edges? No, right? You people are able to see only 3. Actually all of them should seems to be on a straight line from the perfect front view, and we can see this edge, and this edge also. So I am going to draw that's what I thought. Okay, I know this kind of thing might be happening. Let me draw the straight line too. Okay, isn't this how we are able to see this one from the front? I'm gonna give this one different color. Since this one is entirely a lamina, I'll try to join all of these things. Okay, I'm gonna join all of these. Yeah, this line, and this line. I'm going to join all of them. I'm gonna hit extrude. Let me see what's going to happen. I think press pull is fine. This one, yeah. Just made a surface. So if it is a front view, we have to give dark color. So that is how it is going to look like from the front, right? So from the top, it is going to look like, I can't just match these edges, because if I do so, I will mess up the entire figure. I don't want that to be happening. Okay, this one is not exactly perfect, but yeah, I just want you guys to understand, that's it. Oops, I think I might have messed that up. Since the orthogonal mode is on. So that is the figure that we actually see when you watch this one from the top view. So I'm going to give not for that one. Okay, then I'm gonna do is since I haven't joined these things, it is going to just produce a surface. अरे यार I'm gonna change the color of this one. This is too pretty. Okay, here the green one is the thing that you're going to see when you watch this one from the top view, and this is going to be the red one is going to be the front view. So I'm going to draw this one in the AutoCAD. Let me take a line. So these are huge dimensions, so let me zoom in as much as possible. So let me create M text. Now I have to draw a rectangle. No, not rectangle. First let me take a line at an angle of 27, 180 minus 30, which means 150, 153. So on this one, say 70 and 153. $50 and 27, yes. This is the one that we actually require. So I'm gonna have to draw a line. Do not turn the auto mode on. $25, and let's go to parametric. Make these two as perpendicular. Okay, these two are now perpendicular. That's just what I needed. We'll give the namings here so that it is going to be very much clear. Since this one is, let me first draw all the projections. So it has a height of 70 mm. So let me draw a line of height 70. We don't need these extended portions. So this is how, but whereas this one has to be a dotted line. This one is a projection up to certain. Okay, we will be able to see only this portion. So let me give this one, let me divide this first. I'll tell you why am I actually dividing this. Okay, So now the projections lines can be seen here. Okay, now you guys can actually notice which one is a projection and which one is actually a view. Let me give namings to this one in the front and both the front and the top view. I'm going to lift this a little bit. Actually it has to rest on the horizontal plane, but I'm trying to lift this one just because so that you guys can actually see what have I actually done here. Okay, so these are projections. The green one is the top view and this red one is the front view. So that is how it will look like from the front and this is how it will look like from the top. That's what I actually mean. So that is what I actually wanted to say. So let me give the namings to this one. So just like namings remains the same. So if it is a front view, we will give it like A dash, B dash, C dash, C dash, D dash can be seen. Okay, now E, F, G, and lastly H. Okay, let me give dashes to this thing. D dash, this one is going to be D dash. In that case, comma E, A comma E will be here. And B comma F. D comma H. C comma G. Okay, so this one is a non-visible edge. Let us add this one to another layer, create a new layer, there is the add option, but layer 1. No. So let me check this one whether this one is added or not. Yeah, this one got added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one as a non-visible edge or a hidden edge. Okay, 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 now I got a hidden edge. Okay, so this is the representation that we use here. Namings here. So this one here. This one can be okay. So A dash just point to anything. Not here. Okay. Let me change the size. To 0.5. Okay, that's it. Mark this one as A dash. Since that's the front view. Since this is the B dash. This one here is C dash. Okay. Guys, D dash will be here. It will be a dotted line. So I'm gonna just represent this one with a straight line here. This one is a hidden line. C dash. Okay, so from the front view, A, B, C, D, D is one of the endpoints of the non-visible edge, because since we are watching from the front, we won't be able to see this particular edge here. Okay, you will be able to see this and these three edges only. So that's why the front view is like this and the top view is like this. Okay.
Okay, let me open the other file too. Okay, now so here you have to finish these things. E, F, G, H. F projection will be somewhere here. Where is he? Okay. We will just edit them. E dash F dash G dash and H dash. Okay, let me do the same thing here as well. I know, actually this one is taking very long. I know how you guys may be feeling, but it's okay, it's worth waiting. F should be here somewhere. Okay, then I'll just copy this one in. Okay, G is already here. Oh no, this one is something else. I think G will be here. What I think I might have changed this place. Okay. Now it's all settled. Let us just draw these projections.
So if the straight line is having 180 degrees on one side, and if this particular angle is 153, means this angle will become 27. So that is what we actually needed. So these yellow lines are actually projection lines. Okay, hope you guys might have understand something here. Okay, since there is not much of a time left, I'm not going to cover the second problem today. Okay, if you guys are okay with this problem, I'm gonna go through some of the complicated problems in the let's start with some level 2 problems. Okay, so let's say this one is level 1, and I'll start the level 2 problems in the next class. So in these solids we'll be having, you know, resting on, we can say something like some resting on this particular phase. See, unlike this plane's concept, a plane can have, say if you consider one of the phases here, this is just a lamina, right? So this particular lamina can have corners and edges. These are called as corners or vertices. Okay, so the vertices are nothing but the intersection of two different edges. So these are all edges. A plane will be having edges, vertices or corners, right? But whereas a solid will be having edges, vertices and faces. So you can ask the problem in three different ways. He can say something like a lateral face is actually lying on the horizontal plane, or a particular corner is actually lying on the horizontal plane, or an edge may be lying on the horizontal plane. Likewise, he might ask, okay, he might ask in different ways. So we will see all the different models that are actually existing. I hope to cover it as soon as possible, because there is a lot of syllabus that there is not much syllabus, but where the time is not that much sufficient. I think we might need few more days. I think, I don't know, May 3rd may be enough or not. I'm not sure about that. If there is some time, if I have more amount of time available to me, then I will explain more amount of more examples, but let's see what's going to happen. I'll see you guys in the next class. Hope you guys have learned something today.